Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Siage of Tashira. I am Tashira, and on my channel I discuss all things fragrances, preferably niche, but we also love designer over here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about sexy date night scents for Valentine's Day. In my previous video, I discussed romantic, but now we're going to take it to sexy because, we love sexy. Sometimes you don't want to be in a romantic mood. You're in a sexy mood, and Valentine's Day is a perfect day for that. So with that being said, let's get into it. So first up, I'm going to talk about Rosendo Mateu No. 5. So this fragrance, it's a musk. It's very sensual, but in an oddly strange way. Typically when people discuss this fragrance, they talk about how addictive and sexy it is, but they don't say that it's actually strange. So this fragrance here, it has vanilla, it has carnation, it has spices, and then a lot of musk, a very heavy musk, and a saffron that leans kind of leathery / gasoline-like. This reminds me of a sexy mechanic. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get from this. So this one, the saffron in here reminds me of the saffron in Montier Premier Crystal Saffron, where it leans kind of leathery, gasoline car shop like, but something about it is very addictive. I don't know what it is. This fragrance, I find myself just reaching for it. Like when I'm fresh out of the shower, I just want to smell like this. I'm just so drawn to it, and it's so unusual, but super alluring. And a lot of people find this to be very sexy. And yeah, this is definitely one to try and get your nose on. If you're into like strange scents, you like things super niche, this is super niche. Again, this one is Rosendo Mateu No. 5. The next fragrance I'm going to discuss is Borntostandout Dirty Heaven. So this one is similar to Rosendo Mateu No. 5. I'm not the only one who thinks that, by the way. If you're going for Grantica, a lot of people have compared Rosendo Mateu No. 5 to this scent. The difference with this one is this one has orange blossom, it has white florals. It also has a heavy dose of vanilla as well as a heavy dose of tonka in the base. So this one is very creamy. So think of Rosendo Mateu No. 5, but with a very creamy touch. This one is also very addictive. This smells so good in cold weather. And this one also, it doesn't have fruit listed as a note, but something about it comes across as grape, like the color purple. Not like an actual fruit grape, because grape flavored foods or candy doesn't actually taste like an actual grape. It tastes like purple. If you understand what I mean. This, like, I get that in this scent, and it's very addictive. This one is also sexy and alluring. So again, this one is Dirty Heaven by Borntostandout. And then we have Bete by Liquide, Imaginaires. So I saw a guy on YouTube describe this one as sexy. He said he loves when his girlfriend wears it on date nights. I also find this one very sexy. But I was on Reddit earlier today, and the topic was, what's a fragrance that you couldn't scrub off fast enough? And someone said, a woman said Bete. She said, I immediately had to scrub it off my skin. It smells like a vagina. And to be clear, she clarified she meant a clean vagina, but that wasn't something she desired to smell like. So it's just interesting how people perceive scents so differently. Because for me, at first sniff, I get coconuts, a very sexy sandalwood base, a lot of vanilla, and then the tuberose. And the tuberose in here is very addictive and sensual. It doesn't come across as bubblegummy, which I absolutely hate. So if you are someone who enjoy tuberose but hate when it leans bubblegummy, you might enjoy this scent if you also like coconut as well. Coconut actually isn't a note in this fragrance, but I get a very, very heavy dose of coconut in here. This one is super addictive, and it's also a compliment getter. I find this to be very sexy. Again, this one is Liquide, Imaginaires, Bete. Next up, we have Tilia by Marc Antoine Barrois. So this one is strange. It's not strange. It's actually something. This one is very hard for me to describe because I've never smelled anything like it. This one also reads purple to me. It's fresh. It's kind of woody. It has akagala wood. That's what makes this strange. It also has lindenwood. And this has that signature Marc Antoine Barrois DNA. No, that signature Quentin Biche DNA, I should say, because this was created by master perfumer Quentin Biche, whose scents I'm usually drawn to. I just feel like His fragrances always are a hit for me. This one is a massive compliment getter, and this one, the longevity is superb. It lasts 8+ hours on skin and even longer in clothing. Whenever I wear this, I get complimented by both men and women. This one has been compared to La Perla Possibilities, which I haven't been able to test because it isn't available in the US. But a lot of people recommend that if you love that one, then this is one to try. It's the closest thing to it. And so, yeah, definitely try this one. Again, this one is Tilia by Marc, Antoine, Barrois. Next is Mugler Angel Toilette. So this isn't anything like the original, which is very chocolate slash patchouli heavy. This one, instead of chocolate, we have praline, which is more palatable to me. I absolutely hate chocolate as a note in fragrances. This one comes across as a sexy green apple Jolly Rancher with a patchouli base. It also has red berries and musk. This one is very sexy. I love this one. This is my favorite Mugler perfume, next to Over the Musk, which I can't find and it's driving me insane. But this one is fun, it's flirty, it's sexy, and the longevity is amazing. And this one is my most affordable out of all the fragrances that I'm going to discuss today. Next, we have BDK Soir Extrait, which is very similar to Angel Toilette, except this one is more patchouli heavy, but this one is super sexy. I find the patchouli in here to be quite addictive and alluring. Typically, I'm not really a big fan of patchouli. It usually comes across as dirty, too earthy, kind of soily to me. It isn't like that in here. This one is intoxicating. The patchouli in here is like, this is the patchouli that I hear Sebastian rave about all the time. I think this is the kind of patchouli that he talks about. This one is super sexy. It's like candy, fruity, sexy with the patchouli. This is definitely one to try. It's very similar to Angel Mugler Toilette. So if you do like this one, I think you should try that one because it's more affordable. But if you like a more patchouli dominant scent, I think this one is the one you should stick with. Again, this one is BDK Soir Extrait. Next up, we have Kilian Roses on Ice. So this one is from the Kilian's Liqueur collection. It's actually like the least popular, but it's my favorite from the Liqueur's collection. This one is kind of fresh, but it's perfumey. It's also musky. So this one has cucumber, gin, rose, and a lot of musk in the base. For me, the rose isn't a red rose. It's a pink rose. This one comes across as a sexy cucumber gin martini with rose petals garnished on top. I love a cucumber martini. It's one of my favorite drinks. This one is also sexy, and I get compliments every single time I wear this. This one gets a lot of hate, but I think is very underrated, and it's the best in the Liqueur's collection to me, in my personal opinion. But I have to say, Angel Share Parodies it's good. It's on the money, and I want that one as well. Again, this one is Roses on Ice by Kilian. Next, we have Christian Provenzano, Rocca. So this one is a raspberry heavy scent. It also has a citrus note. I believe it's orange or tangerine, one of the two. This one is very sexy. Definite compliment getter. This one has a lot of saffron and amber in the base. This one reads as like a fruity version of BR 540. It has that DNA. I don't want to compare them, but it has the DNA in the base, except that this one has a lot of raspberry in the top. The raspberry is super dominant in this scent, and it lasts throughout the entire wear. This one leaves an intoxicating scent trail, and the longevity is amazing. I would say 6+ hours. And yeah, this one is definitely one to try if you like fruity, sexy scents. Next up is another fruity, sexy scent. This one is God of Fire by Stephane, Humbert, Lucas. This one is a mango scent, but it's dark and edgy. It has Cypriol, which reads dark to me. It takes it to another level. This one, it makes it a nighttime scent for me. I wouldn't wear this in the daytime. The Cypriol just makes it very dark and edgy, so something I'm gonna wear at night. This one, I think because of that dark edge, this can be a year-round scent. You don't have to stick to summer, being that it's a mango scent. This one doesn't read too tropical to me, but this one has alluring quality, so when I'm going for sexy scents, I'm going for something alluring, and this one is definitely alluring. Again, this one is God of Fire by Stephane, Humbert, Lucas. Next up is Gritti Duchessa. This one is a sexy cherry fragrance. To me, it's a combination of Room 1015 Cherry Punk mixed with Mancera Instant Crush. Yeah. This one is also long-lasting as well. Guaranteed compliments getter. This one lasts 6+ hours on the skin. This one is very intoxicating and addictive. This is one of the best cherry scents out there on the market. So if you're looking for something cherry and sexy, you don't want a Tom Ford cherry, this is the one that you should definitely try. Also, if you're a fan of Mancera Instant Crush, but you want a fruity take on that, try this one. Again, this one is Gritti Duchessa. Next is another sexy cherry fragrance that I'm absolutely in love with. This one is Fragrance du Bois, Sirène. This one is cherry with lactones. The lactones isn't milky. It just gives it like a creamy edge. And then this one has a heavy dose of oud. But the oud in here is very sexy and appealing, very sensual. It doesn't come across as funky. It's done well, but I will say the oud is kind of prominent. It's kind of heavy in here, but this one is an oud I can tolerate. I typically frown upon oud. I usually can't stand the smell, but this one was love at first sniff, and this is coming from an oud hater. I used to despise oud, but oud has been growing on me. This is definitely one of the better oud scents on the market for women. Very sexy. It's a head turner. It's a showstopper. This one, people are going to want to know who that is, like, when you walk by. The smell is just, it reads like, I'm here. It's very dominant. This like just reads as a woman who's about her business, but she's also sexy at the same time. Again, this one is Fragrance du Bois, Sirène. Next up is Nishane 100 Silent Lace. So a lot of people compare this one to Black Opium. I don't really know. I actually hate Black Opium. But this one is very crowd pleasing. Out of like all of the scents that I've discussed today, this one and Angel Mugler Toilette are very crowd pleasing. This one, men love this. Women also love it too. It's just easy to wear, but it's sexy at the same time. This one is a heavy white floral scent, but it doesn't come across as too heady. It's just done right, blended to perfection. This used to be my favorite from Nishane, but Ani has replaced that for me. But I absolutely still love this one. Again, this one is Nishane 100 Silent Lace. And the last fragrance that I'm going to discuss today is La Capitale by Xerjoff. This one, for me, is an aphrodisiac in a bottle. This one just, it does something to me. It really does. Every time I get a whiff of this, it's like, oh, yeah. This is my favorite Xerjoff. This one is strawberry with peach and caramel. A lot of caramel. Is very sweet. This also has leather and saffron. And for me, originally the leather was off-putting, but give it time to sit if you feel the same way. The leather will mellow out and it would start to read as sexy, appealing, alluring, sensual, intoxicating. This one is very femme fatale. I absolutely adore this scent. But for someone with an untrained nose, this may read as masculine. I remember having this like sprayed in my hair and a coworker thought that I was wearing a men's cologne. But no, this one is actually very feminine. It's very fruity, very sweet. Oh, my goodness. I don't know how they did it, but this is absolutely amazing. This one is a 10 out of 10 for me. Super addictive, but I tend to only wear this around people who can appreciate it. If I'm going to be around people who aren't into niche scents, I would wear something more crowd pleasing like Pink Me Up. But if I'm around people who are experienced and know their scents and they're into niche, this is one that I would definitely go for. This one is a head turner. It's a showstopper. Very sexy. Highly recommend this one. And again, this one is Xerjoff La Capitale. So that wraps up my picks for sexy date night scents for Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you find any value in the content, please consider subscribing. And until next time, thank you for watching and have a blessed day. See you in the next video.